So today we travel through the Orient and to the Middle East, so come along. First stop was the island of Phuket in Thailand. It's an island filled mainly with beaches and kind of a party atmosphere. We had a cab and went to go explore the beach. A giant Buddha up on the highest hill is the most prominent landmark on the whole island. We went to the beach and relaxed under a shade tree and watched the goings-on. People enjoying the sun, people enjoying the water, and having a great time in the sand. After a while we got a little hungry and headed up the road past a bunch of open food stalls and found a nice little quote-unquote surf bar, which was a lot of fun, good food, good drink, and we had a little entertainment. Other people enjoyed the show as well. Until these young guys got splashed. Next it was on to Cambodia, where we started the evening with a traditional meal accompanied by a Cambodian dance, which looked a little bit like a combination of Balinese and Thailand. The next morning we headed off to the magnificent temple complex of Angkor Wat. Next port of call was Myanmar. It really wasn't very developed in the areas that we were at. We're kind of surprised by quite a bit of trash on the side of the road and the hovels that people lived in. Another surprising thing was the rock star status of the Buddhist monks. They were advertising the lectures they were giving, etc. But the real fabulous thing that we went to was the Shwedagon Pagoda. This is a popular place for people to come and worship, but also a tourist destination. It seemed to be a place where people just kind of hung out. There were literally hundreds and hundreds of Buddhas of various sorts, and they were used differently depending on what you were asking the Buddha for. We were there during the evening hours into the nightfall, and the place was beautifully lit by the end of our stay. On the top of the pagoda is a ball that's encrusted with hundreds and hundreds of carats of precious stones. Diamonds, rubies, and other precious gems are present. The next night, we went to Colonial Rangoon for a wonderful dinner at the Strand Hotel. The hotel was beautifully decorated. Unfortunately, the main restaurant was closed, so we ate at the cafe and had a relatively typical Myanmar dinner. We enjoyed one last look at the Shwedagon Pagoda as we headed back to the ship for our onward voyage. Next stop was an overland excursion to India. We explored the Golden Triangle, including Delhi, both old and new, drove down to Agra, the home of the Taj Mahal and the Agra Red Fort, and then toured Jaipur, where we saw the Amber Fort, the municipal palace of the Maharaja, and Jantar Mantar, which is a fabulous observatory built for astrological observations. Next port was Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. The architecture was a mixture of the ultra-modern and Moorish. We decided to have a nice dinner in a relatively expensive restaurant. The building looked kind of like a sail. And then enjoy a view of all of Dubai from the sky bar at the top of the sail-like building. We had a pre-dinner drink and subsequently dinner on the lower level of the building. The restaurant was beautiful with incredible aquariums throughout, and the dinner was really only remarkable for the incredible expense. Then we headed upstairs to have a drink and look out over all of Dubai from the sky bar. The next stop was Abu Dhabi. We all were on an excursion, the highlight of which was a trip to the mosque. We had to wear appropriate garb, and some people were unable to get into the mosque because of their attire. The mosque was quite beautiful. It reminded me much of the Taj Mahal. That's it for this episode. So till the next installment, bye from Rob and Sherryboard MS Insignia.